Hi everyone, welcome back. It's very bright today outside, it's very sunny, so I might be very bright right now. But I'm just in my home. There's no special lighting or anything, it's just very beautiful natural lighting from the sun. Right now I'm going to be making lunch, and today I want to show you guys a very easy and very traditional Northeastern Chinese dish. It's also very signature. This dish itself, it is not deep fried, unlike the other two I made before. There's no deep frying, it's just a little bit of stir frying, and it's very simple and easy. The dish itself is called 尖椒干豆腐, which means stir fried long green chili peppers with, I guess, tofu skin. So here I have the tofu skin. It looks like this. And it's very hard to say what kind of texture it's like. It's kind of like a crepe, made of tofu. And I did some research. So this kind of tofu skin product, the process is exactly like how you will make tofu. So you get the soybean milk first, and then you use, I think it's alum. You put it into the soybean milk, and then the proteins coagulate. But the difference between this and tofu is that you put a very thin layer of it onto a kind of a mold, and then you keep cranking the mold to press it with a lot of pressure. And at the end, when everything kind of dries and sets, you get this kind of very bouncy, very chewy textured kind of tofu skin. And Northeastern Chinese people love eating this because we traditionally produce soybean. So another ingredient that I will probably show you guys in the future is soybean paste, and it's made of very good soybeans from Northeastern China, simply because we produce lots of them, and that's why I think we have this dish, because it uses a soybean product that is very signature to our region. Other ingredients you need, so the ingredients you need today are 3 cloves of garlic, 230 grams of tofu skin, about 150 grams of long green chili pepper, about 1 teaspoon of potato starch, some soy sauce, oyster sauce, chinkang vinegar or 尖椒干豆腐, and about a teaspoon of sugar. And that is all the ingredients you need today. And don't forget to make rice before you make the dish, because the worst thing is to be waiting for your rice once your dish is cooked. So if you just stir fry tofu skin raw, it's actually not raw, it's cooked, you can eat it like this, but it is quite bouncy, and it has this kind of very obnoxious soybean smell to it. So what we do usually is we cut it into strips, bite-sized strips, and then we quickly blanch it for about a minute. This not only softens it a little bit, but also gets rid of that smell that is quite obnoxious. Whoa, that is close. So first we're going to be preparing all the ingredients for stir frying, because everything's going to go in the wok really quickly. So first step, cut the tofu skin. You can get tofu skin in any Asian supermarket, I presume. It's a very cheap and very common product, so I highly doubt that you won't be able to find it. Again, get out the biggest knife you can find, cut it in half for me, and just for ease of cutting, I'm going to teach you guys a trick. Put them on top of each other so that when you make a cut, you're actually cutting through multiple layers, and you cut that in half again. So I'd say the width here is probably about 10 centimeters. That's enough. That's a pretty good bite size. And then you lay it on top of each other again, and then you want to cut strips like this. And I'd say you probably want about 1.5 centimeters. That's how much I would cut. I've also seen this dish made with triangles, which is also quite beautiful, but I'm gonna make the way that I like it. So about 1.5 centimeters. Make a cut and just keep going. So you end up with a lot of strips like this, like so. And now we are just going to put that aside. And I have 2 long green chili peppers again. You can replace it with kind of Turkish green chilies as well. I think they're probably the best substitute. Again, they're quite common ingredients. I think you can find them at any Asian supermarket. We're going to be doing the same rolling cut that I showed you guys last time. It's so much better to cut with these bigger long green chilies, because then the rolling cut, you don't have to be as careful and precise, because you know, when the ingredients are bigger, you're not afraid to cut your hand. You don't have to be very perfect, just cut them into pieces, it's fine. Put them around here. For the garlic, you just want to mince them really. So mincing them is quite easy. Crush them with your knife. And then you just cut it into tiny and tinier pieces. You know, I never realized how difficult it is to cook and talk and think about interesting things to say about these ingredients all at the same time. Because usually I think when you're cooking, you're just in your own mind thinking about work or about your relationship or about yourself or about your future. You don't really think about the ingredients themselves and what's interesting about them and talk about them. But you know, it's a new skill that I'm trying to learn. And I like to use this big meat cleaver because you know, you're able to smash the garlic and get the peel off quite easily. And also, because it's so big, you can maneuver it like so, kind of like a herb grinder. Like an old style herb grinder. So here you go. That's about crushed or minced, I guess, minced. I don't believe in a garlic crusher simply because I find that you lose a lot of the garlic and they kind of crush the garlic into like a paste, which is a bit disgusting because I don't want to eat garlic paste. I want garlic kind of granules, I guess, but also not dried ones. That's also disgusting. Just use fresh garlic. Take some time and cut it. So for the sauce, again, same as last time. The all magical Northeastern cuisine sauce, basically. About 1 teaspoon of potato starch or cornstarch, whatever you like. It just have to thicken the sauce. 1 tablespoon of soy sauce. So I like this Kikkoman one because I find it very umami. 1 tablespoon of oyster sauce. The oyster sauce, I'd say, is optional. I like it because it really deepens the flavor. But yeah, it's optional. You don't have to add it. And then 2 tablespoons of black vinegar or zhenjiang vinegar. I'm gonna start calling it zhenjiang vinegar because, you know, this vinegar, because I speak Mandarin, I don't speak Cantonese. In Cantonese, this would be called Qingkang vinegar, and for me, saying that just sounds like I'm doing an impression of, I don't know, some European pronouncing it, or doing an impression of a Cantonese person. It feels weird, so I'm gonna call it by its Mandarin name, zhenjiang vinegar. And then 2 teaspoons of sugar. Just sweeten it up a little bit. There we go. Give it all a good mix. There we go. And that's good. And what we're going to do now is boil some water. Boil some water and blanch the tofu skin. It's actually not the skin of tofu, it's just a special type of tofu. For only a minute, because if you blanch it for too long, it's going to become a soggy, soft mess. And if you don't blanch it, it's going to have a bit of a raw taste to it. But at the end of the day, it's according to your taste level, because I like it still with a little bit of chew. But if you want it to be really mushy and soft, go ahead, blanch it for 5 minutes if you want. So, I have a pan of boiling water here, and I'm just gonna put my tofu in and set a timer for 1 minute, and then that's it, and then we drain it. I like to move it around a little bit just to separate all the sheets, all the strips. You don't have to, it's just my preference. I don't know if you can see, but that is 1 minute, so we're going to drain it. There we go. Going to set that aside in the sink. And then now we'll start cooking. First, pour about 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil in your wok and roll the oil all over the wok. Grab your ingredients and put the garlic into the wok. And give it a good stir fry until you start smelling fragrant. It doesn't need to be brown or yellow. Just needs to be fragrant. My heat's a bit slow because it's an electric cooker. Then grab your long green chilies, put them in, give it a really quick stir fry of about a minute. You don't want to overcook these, you want them to still stay fresh and vibrant green. When you overcook these kind of peppers, they become really soft and soggy, and they lose that kind of freshness. Lastly, dump your tofu skin into the wok. Again, give it a really good stir fry of about a minute or so, just so that everything kind of warms up and the oil coats the tofu skin. Make sure you kind of give it a little shake just to separate the sheets. Then grab your sauce, give it a good mix to make sure all the starch is again mixed into the liquid. Pour it into your wok, and then give it a quick stir to start thickening, because it will cook and reduce and thicken. I think I might have added a little bit more liquid into the sauce, so it might take just a slight while to cook and thicken, but it will. Stir, stir, stir. I'm just waiting for the sauce to thicken up a little bit. So learn from my mistake. Please use less liquid so that your sauce will thicken faster in the future. And it's done, plated, and you are ready to eat it. And let me show you what it looks like. Very pretty, green and yellow, 尖椒干豆腐, done. So my battery actually died in my camera, so I'm just using my laptop's camera, so the quality might not be as great. That's alright. But I just wanted to show you guys the finished product. It's like this. I mean, the where I ended off right before my battery died, it was pretty much finished anyways. I honestly just cooked it for maybe 10 more seconds and I plated it. So when you smell it, the kind of smell you get is definitely the hit of the garlic and the aroma of the long green chili, and also a little bit of the sourness from the vinegar. And the taste, so I'm going to taste one of the tofu skin. Yeah, so it has that bounce, but also because of the surface of the tofu skin, it really held on to the sauce. The sauce thickened a little bit by the starch, and you can taste the sweetness and the tanginess from the vinegar. Yeah, I mean, this is one of my favorite dishes ever, so I'm very biased. So I'm gonna try one of the chilies as well. So this one, sorry, isn't that spicy, this chili, but usually the chili will have a bit of heat, and so the balance between the heat, the sourness, the umami, the sweet, and the texture of the tofu skin should usually be a very good combination. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be eating lunch soon, so I'm gonna get some rice with this. But yeah, this is one of my favorite dishes from Northeastern China. And I hope that all of you will try it out as well. It's a super easy dish to make. If you find the other two dishes too complicated, this one, honestly, you can whip up within 15-20 minutes. All right, thank you for watching so far, and I hope to bring you more recipes next week, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you.